नमः सर्वेभ्यः। व्योम संस्कृत पाठशालायाः कौशलसंवर्धनं संस्कृतव्याकरणं निबन्धलेखनं च इत्यस्य प्रक्रमस्य अद्य ऊनपञ्चाशः पाठः। अद्य वयम् अव्ययीभावसमासं पठामः। गुरुरेव गतिर्गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरोः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोर्मतिरस्ति गुरौ मम पाहि गुरो। वाक्यकारं वररुचिं भाष्यकारं पतञ्जलिं पाणिनिं सूत्रकारं च प्रणतोऽस्मि मुनित्रयम्। अस्माभिः समासाः अधीयमानाः सन्ति। समासकुसुमावल्यां समासाः षोडा विभक्ताः। तत्र तत्पुरुषः तत्प्रभेदौ कर्मधारयः द्विगुश्च तेषां विषये ज्ञातम्। ततः अन्यपदार्थप्रधानः बहुव्रीहिसमासः। तत्रापि सप्त अन्तर्भेदाः भवन्ति, तेषां विषये अपि अस्माभिः ज्ञातम्। अग्रे अव्ययीभावः द्वन्द्वः इति समासद्वयं द्रष्टव्यमस्ति। अव्ययीभावसमासः यस्याभवत्पूर्वपदे व्ययस्य नाम्नो विधानाद्विविधं च लक्ष्म पूर्वः पदार्थोऽपि च यत्र मुख्यः तमव्ययीभावमुदाहरामः। अयम् अव्ययीभावसमासस्य पीठिका श्लोकः. As we have been seeing, every samasa has one shloka which defines the types of the samasa and the attributes like pradhanya. So this is talking about avyayi bhava. Yasya purvapade avyayasya namnah cha vidhanat dvividham lakshma abhavat api cha purvaha padarthaha yatra mukhyah तम अव्ययी भावम उदाहरामः इति अन्वयः अस्ति. So the Anvaya says yasya purvapade. So that samasa in whose purvapada we have two possibilities. One is avyaya, the other is nama. Nama refers to a normal noun, a declinable. So the purvapada can be either avyaya or a namapada. Dvividham lakshma abhavat. So thus there are two characteristics. Lakshma refers to a characteristic. Lakshma is actually a chinha or an identification mark. So there are two kinds of identity to avyayi bhava. One is where the purvapada is an avyaya. The other is where the purvapada is a namapada. Apicha, and purvaha padarthaha mukhyaha. We have seen already tatpurusha samase prayena उत्तरपदार्थः मुख्यः, बहुव्रीहौ अन्यपदार्थः मुख्यः, एवं अव्ययी भावे पूर्वपदार्थः मुख्यः. That too, where avyaya is the purvapada, tatra purvapadarthah mukhyaha. यत्र अव्ययम् उत्तरपदे भवति तत्र उत्तरपदार्थः एव मुख्यः. So, but the major kind of avyayi bhava is where avyaya is the purvapada and purvapadartha is pradhana. That is, the meaning of the avyaya involved is the most important. Tam avyayi bhavam udaharamaha. Tadrishaha samasaha avyayi bhavaha ityuchyate. अस्मिन् समासे पूर्वपदम् अव्ययं नामवाचकं वा भवति. अतोऽयं समासः द्विविधः. अव्यय पूर्वपद अव्ययी भावः, नाम पूर्वपद अव्ययी भावः. So these are the two types. किञ्च अयं समासः पूर्वपदार्थप्रधानः इति वदन्ति. अनेन श्लोकेन किं ज्ञातम्? अव्ययीभावसमासस्य प्रभेदद्वयं भवति. अव्ययपूर्वपद अव्ययीभावः, नामपूर्वपद अव्ययीभावः. किञ्च पूर्वपदार्थप्रधानः अव्ययीभावः. तर्हि तयोः किं लक्षणम् इति अग्रे पश्यामः. अव्ययपूर्वपदः अव्ययीभावः. This is the most common type of avyayibhava. Probably 90% of avyayibhava is covered under this. भोराजन् प्रत्यहं भूयाद् यथा शक्त्यधिबाडवम् भक्तिस्तयास्तु सम्भद्रं निष्पापमुपलोचनम्. अत्र अस्मिन् श्लोके अव्ययपूर्वपद अव्ययीभावस्य बहूनि उदाहरणानि सन्ति. भो राजन् प्रत्यहम् अधिबाडवं भक्तिः यथाशक्ति भूयात् तया तु सम्भद्रं निष्पापञ्च उपलोचनं स्यात्. कः अर्थः? हे राजन्, प्रत्यहं नाम प्रतिदिनं, दिने दिने, एव्री डे, अधिबाडवं. बाडव शब्दः बहुत्र दृष्टः, ब्राह्मणाः इत्यर्थः. ब्राह्मणेषु, ब्राह्मणानां विषये भक्तिः, तव भक्तिः सेवा वा यथाशक्ति सामर्थ्यानुगुणं भूयात्. That is, try to serve the brahmanas every day as much as you can. Yathashakti means according to your capacity. Tayatu, taya nama taya bhaktya, due to that devotion or service to the brahmanas. Sambhadram nishpapancha, sambhadram nama samriddhihi, prosperity, nishpapam, and absence of sins or destruction of sins. Upalochanam syat. Upalochanam. Lochanam means eyes. Upalochanam means near the eyes, which means right in front of you. See, there are many of the karmas which are prescribed in the Shastras. They have two kinds of phala. One is called a drishta phala, the other is called an adrishta phala. So drishta phala means that which we can directly see and experience in this lifetime itself, whereas adrishta phala is the accumulation of punya or papa, which leads to or which fructifies later, that is not in this birth. So as most of our streams of philosophy believe in punarjanma, so there is accumulation of punya and papa karma which bears fruit sometime later that we cannot directly perceive. It is beyond our current sensory perception, but it bears fruit in a later janma. So that is called adrishta, whereas drishta phala is what we see directly as the result. So every karma has both drishta phala and adrishta phala. So drishta means seen or experienced. So that is what is referred to here by upalochanam, means directly in front of your eyes you can see the fruit of that effort, that is that devotion towards the brahmanas. Atra अस्मिन् श्लोके प्रत्यहम् अधिबाडवं यथाशक्ति सम्भद्रं निष्पापम् उपलोचनम्. षट् पदानि अव्ययीभाव समासरूपाणि विद्यन्ते. अत एव अयं श्लोकः अस्य उदाहरणत्वेन दीयते. कः अर्थः इति आदौ पश्यामः. ahani ahani pratyaham. Pratyaham is not related to aham, it is related to ahan. We have seen ahan multiple times. Saptahaha, navahaha. So aha is from ahan, meaning day. So ahani ahani means in the day, that is every day. Pratyaham. So pratyaham means daily or on all days, every day. Shaktim anatikramya yatha shakti. So yatha shakti, literally it means without exceeding the capacity, which means the implication is till the limits. So it is not that you have to kill yourself trying to do it, but whatever is in our control, we utilize all that and try to achieve it. That is the implication in Yatha Shakti, as far as possible, as much as possible. Adhibadabam, Badabeshu, in the Brahmanas. The Saptami Vibhakti, when I say Vishnu Bhakti, it means bhakti directed towards Vishnu. Vishnoho Vishaye Bhakti. Atrapi Brahmananam Vishaye ityartha. So, towards the Brahmanas, regarding the Brahmanas, Bhakti. So, the word Adhi there indicates the sense of Saptami Vibhakti. Bhadranam Samriddhi Sambhadram. Bhadra. Shvashreyasam Shivam Bhadram Kalyanam Mangalam Shubham iti Koshavakyam. So Kalyana, Mangala, Shubha, Bhadra, all these means something which is very good, beneficial or auspicious. So Sambhadram means abundance of auspicious things or good things. So whatever you desire, you will get it. That is the implication. And the opposite is Nishpapam. Papanam abhavaha. Absence of sins or destruction of sins. Papanam atyayaha or papanam abhavaha. That is papat muktihi labhyate. Punyam tatkritam subhiksham cha prapyate ityartha. The last one, upalochanam, lochanayoho samipe. So near or in front of the eyes. So usually upa is translated as near. So near the eyes. But in this context, it means directly in front of the eyes. So atra sarvatra vayam yadi pashyamaha samastapade prati yatha adhi sam nir upa etani sarvani api avyayani santi. So the first word is an avyaya. The second word is a namapada. So the avyaya conveys something, some abstract meaning related to the namapada. So prati, when combined with ahan, says every day, day by day. Okay. So adhi means in, some means abundance, absence. All these are the meanings of the avyaya, which takes precedence in this samasa. Therefore, it is purva padartha pradhanaha. Okay. So, atra niyamam pashyamaha purvapadam avyayam bhavati, uttarapadam subantam bhavati. Okay. Purvapadam samastapadancha avyaye bhavataha. Both the purvapada and the samastapada are avyayas. Purvapadam prayashaha upasargaha bhavati. So the most common kind of avyaya we find in avyayi bhava are the upasargas. There are 22 particles which are usually used as prefixes to prefixes to actions when we call them upasarga. Pra, para, apa, sam, anu, ava, nis, nir, dus, dur, vi, ang, ni, adhi, api, ati, su, ut, abhi, prati, pari, upa. So there are 22. It's a limited set. So these are the most common avyayas. But other avyayas are also seen. Yatha, iti, saha, yavat. So some other avyayas are also found. So here the how Panini deals with it is he does not list the avyayas which take part. He rather focuses on the meaning. So whichever avyayas are found used in those meanings will be used in those contexts. So we find that some of the avyayas are used in multiple samasas in multiple meanings, because even the avyayas or upasargas, they have multiple connotations. So in different connotations, they may undergo samasa. So for Avyayi Bhava Samasa especially, just by looking at a word, you cannot guess the meaning. So you can guess a range. Okay. So normal avyayas, you will have a range of meanings, but exact meaning, we will definitely need the context to understand. Okay. So as I said, samasta padam avyayam bhavati. So when it is a namapada, we modify the ending. For example, if there is a ikaranta, dirgha at the end, it becomes a hrasva. So if the uttarapada is akara, ends in an akara, the samasta pada has at the end of it, like phalam. Okay, so let's just go back. So pratyaham, adhibadabam, sambhadram, nishpapam. So all these are actually avyayas where the uttarapada is akaranta, bhadra, papa, lochana. Aha, though the original word is ahan, it loses the nakara and gets transformed into aha. So there we end with m, but for other letters, you don't put the makara. It is not indiscriminately adding ma everywhere. So I've seen like yathashaktim. Yathashaktim is wrong. Only for akara there is m. For others, it just stops with the vowel. Yatha Shakti. Adhinadi. The word will be short. You will not have a long vowel at the end. So Nadi becomes Nadi. Vadhu becomes Vadhu. So Adhinadi, Adhiguru, Vadhu. Okay. Adhikartru. Everywhere you just stop it at that letter, which is a swara. If it is a vyanjana, it depends. Okay, so those are rare. So usually you hear these two types. One is ending in the other is ending in a plain swara. अत्र वस्तुतः पश्यामः चेत् अव्ययीभावसमासे अव्यय पूर्वपद avyayibhava, to learn, we just have to go on listing the different meanings. Vastutaha Paninihi api Vyakarane, he gives a long list of meanings in which avyaya undergoes avyayibhava samasa. So avyayam vibhakti samipa samriddhi vridhyartha bhavatyaya. He goes on listing a long list of meanings. So he gives the avyayibhava samasa based on meaning. So based on it, multiple meanings are identified. Up to 33 different meanings are identified in Avyayi Bhava. Tesham adhyanam tu praudhastare kartum shakyate. For now, I am just showing a few common meanings which are used so that we are able to understand the pattern for it. Idam tu pustake nasti, Chitturu pustake. They just stop by saying Avyaya Purva Pada. They don't go further. So for the exam, it's enough if you learn whatever words are there. But for practical usage, vipsa or repetition is one of the most commonly used cases of avyayi bhava. So the common avyaya is prati or sometimes anu. So dine dine, pratidinam or anudinam. Both of them mean the same, that is daily or every day. You can say pratyaham, pratiratram, pratisaptaham, pratimasam, prativarsham, everything. Pratijanma, pratigramam. Okay. All those, wherever you find that prati, it's the most frequent meaning is repetition. That is, every day you do something. Say you brush your teeth. Day 1 you do, day 2 you do, day 3 you do. That is called vipsa. Vipsa is repeating the action. So at what interval are we repeating? Okay. It could also be Say pratigramam gacchati. Gramam gramam gacchati. So prathamam gramam gacchati, dvitiyam gramam gacchati, tritiyam gramam gacchati. So pratigramam gacchati. So that is one of the most common. Prati is popular. Anu is also used sometimes. We say Anudinam Haribhajanam Karoti. Okay. So there's a question, Prati Janmam Nava. Janma is a Nakaranta Shabda. So Prati Janma. Prati Janmam is also actually, there are multiple rules there. But since Janman is Nakaranta, the forms are Janma, Janmani, Janmani. So Prati Janma is fine. The next common meaning is Samipyam or proximity. So Upa is the avyaya which indicates proximity. So Upa Nagaram, so close to the city. Upa Nadi, close to the river. Upagriham, close to the home. Upashalam, close to the room. So you can go on doing, you can add it to anything. Okay, Upakrishnam, Uparamam, so on and so forth. Okay, so Upagriham, Devalayah asti, etc. are the examples. One thing to remember, so these words, prati or upa especially, it need not always be avyayi bhava. Okay, just because you see upa, you cannot say it is avyayi bhava. We have to understand the meaning. Okay, one of the most common examples somebody is saying is upanetram. Okay, so upa always indicates proximity, but upanetram. So upanetram means a spectacle. Okay. So upanetram means spectacles. It is called so because it is close to the eye, but it is not an avyayi bhava samasa. Upagatam netram. Avyayi bhava samasa will not indicate a material object. You cannot show the meaning of avyayi bhava, where it means proximity. You cannot show proximity as an object. Upanetram is an object which is close to the eye. So, upagatam netram, upanetram. Okay, it is a tatpurusha samasa, paradi tatpurusha. It is not avyayi bhava. Okay, it's a very important thing to understand. So, just because you see upa, just because it means nearby, it does not mean it is avyayi bhava. Upa always means nearby. Okay, most of the cases upa means nearby. But are we talking about an abstract sense, proximity, or a proximate object? Tatra bhedaha bhavati. Okay, so Upanagaram also. So commonly Upanagaram is used as a suburb. That is, there is a main city close to which there is a smaller, town. Like we have lot in Bangalore, if you are familiar. So they say Kengeri Upanagaram. So there it means a smaller town close to the main city. So if it means a town, that is a specific object, it is not avyayi bhava. Okay. So aham or upanagaram mama kshetram asti. So I have a farm close to the city, that is in proximity to the city. That is avyayi bhava. If you are referring to a proximate city, basically if you are using it as a adjective of qualifier to some object, it is not avyayi bhava. Upanayanam avyayi bhavaha nava iti prashnaha. Upanayanam in the sense of, again, Upanayana samskara is not this at all. That is also Pradi Samasa. Okay, it is not, it has nothing to do with the I, Nayana as the I. Okay, so Samskrita, there are words where you have to understand what is the context. Upanayanam has nothing to do with the I. Tatra niyate iti nayanam. So taking close to something, right? To Brahma Vidya, to this. So there are a lot of things. So Upanayana Samskara is not here. So when we say Upanishad, all those are not avyayi bhavas. None of the common words you use which indicate a specific object. If it indicates a specific object, it will not be avyayi bhava. Okay, because in avyayi bhava, we are referring to the abstract meaning. So, upalochanam means close to your eyes, you will see prosperity and sinlessness. That is how it has been used in the shloka. You have to use it that way as avyayi bhava. Okay. There are like about 20-25 different words suggested by different people. None of them are avyayi bhava. Okay. So I will stop with that. You will understand the usage as you go on. Okay, so none of that is avyayi bhava. You can use it only when you use it in a sentence to mean an abstract meaning related to that noun. That is when it becomes avyayi bhava. The next common meaning in avyayi bhava is adhikaranam, the locative meaning, in or regarding something. So the avyaya used there is adhi. So adhi nagaram means in the city. Adhi Vishnu means in Vishnu or regarding Vishnu. Adhi Vishnu Prahladasya Mahati Bhakti Asit. So Prahlada had great devotion towards Vishnu. Adhi Bhumi means in the earth or on the earth. Adhi Mandiram, in the Mandiram. You can add adhi to any noun to mean in or on or within, the normal sense of Saptami Vibhakti. Again, it should not refer to an object. Adhinagaram is not an object. It means in the city. Okay? Adhibhumi is in or on the earth. Agrimaha arthaha abhavaha absence. Absence of something is indicated by the avyaya nir. So nishpapam, absence or lack of sins. Nirvighnam means absence of vignas. Nirvighnam kuru. So create absence of vignas. Nirmashakam, absence of mosquitoes. So asmakam grihe dhumena nirmashakam sadhitam. So in our house, using a particular, say, a smoke or whatever. So we could achieve absence of mosquitoes. Nirogam means absence of rogas. A person who is free from rogas is not avyayi bhava. That would be either tatpurusha or bahuvrihi. If we are talking about a person who is free from rogas, it is not avyayi bhava. Absence of rogas is avyayi bhava. Similarly with niramayam, niramayaha. So if you say niramayaha purushaha, niramayaha purushaha would not be avyayi bhava. What it is, we will see later. But it is not. That is, a person free from diseases is not avyayi bhava. Absence of diseases is avyayi bhava. So niramayam bhuyat means may there be an absence of diseases. Anativritti or padartha anativritti. This is again a very commonly used one. The avyaya is yatha. So yatha indicates as per or within the limit, within the boundaries. So yatha shakti, so up to the limit of strength, that is within that. Yatha mati, within the limits of my intelligence. That is very commonly used in all speeches. So whenever that's natural. So we don't claim that we are telling everything. So yathamati vachmi, I will speak as much as I know, within the limits of what I know, which means there could be things beyond that which I don't know. So yathamati vakshyami, so I will tell according to my understanding or my intelligence. Yatha shastram, within the limits of the shastra. Shastram anatikramya. So everywhere the avyaya, every bhava, the vigraha vakya pattern is not the same for each. It depends on each type. So we will give one sheet where for all these words, I am right now not showing the vigrahas, but when we upload, we will add slides where I will show, say, Nagaram is Nagarasya Samipam, Nadyaha Samipam, Grihasya Samipam, Shalayaha Samipam. So for Upa, we add Samipam. Whereas for Adhi, you have to just give the Saptami. Nagare iti Adhinagaram. Vishnau iti Adhivishnu. Bhumyam iti Adhibhumi. Mandire iti Adhimandiram. For Vipsa, we repeat the word because it is in the sense of repetition. Dine dine. Janmani janmani. Grame grame. So for nir, that is absence, we just say abhavaha. So papanam abhavaha, vignanam abhavaha, mashakanam abhavaha, roganam abhavaha, amayanam abhavaha. Roga, amaya, roughly the same, disease or illness. Now for this anativritti, the vigraha always is anatikramya, not exceeding. So shaktim anatikramya, matim anatikramya, shastram anatikramya. That is not crossing the limits of the shastra, within the limits of the shastra, within the limits of intelligence, within the limits of strength. Yathecham, ichham anatikramya, within the limits of desire. That is, whatever I want to do, I will do only that. Yathecham karomi means I will not do something which I don't like or I don't want to do. So within the limits of want, their own desire. So yathecham karoti means he does what he wants. So whatever he wants, only that, he will not cross that. The next one is paschat, means after or following. So here also we find anu. So anu Vishnu means after Vishnu. Right? Anu Vishnu Indraha agataha. So Indra came following Vishnu. Or Anuramam Lakshmanaha Manangataha. After Rama or behind Rama, following Rama, Lakshmana also went to the forest. Anurajam. So following the king, Prajaha Gataha or Yodhaha Gataha, whatever. So Anu, when we use in both senses, based on the context, okay, we'll have to know in what meaning it is being used. So the Vigraha will be Paschat. Vishnoho Paschat Anu Vishnu. Ramasya Paschat Anuramam. Rajnyaha Paschat Anurajam. So the another very popular one is technically called Maryada or Abhividhi. Pervasion, pervading something. When something is pervading the entire extent, up to, there are two ways, that is till there. When we say till something, does it include that or exclude that? So it's always either exclusive or inclusive. Say I am on leave till 20th. So is it including 20th or excluding? It's ambiguous in all languages. Okay, not only in Sanskrita. So when we say this, when I say till or up to, it's always an ambiguous statement. Okay, so from and to, if you specify, then both days inclusive. That is why when we want to clarify, we say both days inclusive or both days exclusive. Whenever we use this from to, it's a ambiguity which is usually solved in all languages. We solve it by context. Atrapi tatha. So the avyaya used here is Himalayam. That is till the Himalaya. Asetoho Ahimachalam Bharatavarsham. So Bharatavarsha, the limits or the extent of Bharata. Bharata extends from the Setu till the Himalaya. Abharatam Shankaracharyaha Sancharam Kritavantaha. Shankaracharya traveled all over India. So it is pervading something. Avishvam is in the entire world, or Ajivanam, as long as life continues. That is till the end of life. That is what it means. So Amaranam, till death. Amukti, till liberation. So it pervades everything till that. That is the implied meaning. So Abalam Haribhakti is the standard example. So Haribhakti right from childhood, that is even encompassing childhood, and Avruddham till old age. So A is used in those senses. So these are some of the common meanings of avyaya purvapada avyayi bhavaha. Okay. So why is it nirogam is a question. Maybe people have forgotten sandhi when we came to samasa. Nir and roga. When repa is followed by repa, there is lopa and dirgha of the purvapada. Right? So yadi swadi sandhim punaha pashyamaha idam smaramaha. So whenever repa is followed by repa, dhenu rajate, hari ramate. So there repa, earlier repa is deleted and there is a dirgha. So nir and roga doesn't become nirroga, it becomes niroga. It's just sandhi. So lot of people have asked that question. You said avyayas are added only to nouns. So words like adhivasati, adhitishtati, they are kriya padas. Kriya padas with upasarga. It's not a samasa. So adhi, wherever we have upasargas to tingantas, say pravishati, bhavati, anubhavati, abhibhavati, all those are upasargas with the kriya pada. There is no samasa there. Are yathecham and yatheshtam synonymous? Roughly. Ishtam anatikramya. What is desired is ishta, object, the desired object. Icha is desire itself. So both are roughly synonymous. Adinam, amasam. Yes, you can do that. Saha adinam pustakam pathati. So he reads a book the entire day, etc. Yes, abala gopa vidita is a very popular word. There also abala gopam means even children, even cowherds, that is those who are not of great intellect, she can be known. Abala gopa vidita is the name of the goddess. Abrahma kita janani. So the full word is not avyayi bhava, but the Abrahma kita or abala gopa, that part is avyayi bhava. So Abrahma Kita Janani. So she is the mother of everything in from Brahma to Kita. So pervading everything, that is of the entire creation ityartha. Okay. So again, there are people giving many examples. We will check that when we have time. So as I said, for a, whatever example you give, most of them will be avyayi bhava. For the other avyayas, especially with upa, most of them, especially when you used for a specific object, will not be avyayi bhava. Okay. Then we will go to the second type of avyayi bhava, nama purvapadaha avyayi bhava. This is actually extremely rare, where a nama pada is the purvapada. But there are a few rare instances. Swasyapi bhojane yasya supa pratina yujyate shaka pratyata athavanyebhyah kathan dasyati sa prabhu. This is a very sarcastic shloka. Swasyapi bhojane supa prati athava shaka prati yasya na yujyate sa prabhu कथम अन्येभ्यः दास्यति. यः राजा स्वस्य भोजने अपि सूपस्य शाकस्य वा उपयोगं लेशतोपि न सहते. So there is a king. A king indicates he is very rich, but in his own food he does not allow the use of even a bit of supa. Supa refers to the dal. Right? The moong dal, tur dal, etc. Or shaka is vegetables. That is, he is such a miser that he does not want to spend on any of those nutritious components of food. For himself, it's not even for others. Even in his own meals, he does not allow extravagance. What is the extravagance here? Supa prati. Supa prati actually means very little. So, very little amount of dal or a little amount of vegetables. Saha tadrishaha kripanagresara chakravarti. So, the leader of misers. Kripana means a miser who does not like to spend. Anyebhyaha katham dasyati. So if he is so stingy regarding himself, how will he even think of giving to others? That is the meaning of the shloka. So atra supaprati shakaprati iti nama purvapada avyayi bhavasya udaharanam. Supasya leshaha supaprati. Leshaha means a little bit, a small amount. Shakasya leshaha shakaprati. So a small amount of vegetables. So asmin samase purvapadam subantam bhavati, uttarapadam avyayam bhavati. There are very few. The examples given here in this book are just prati. There are a few more. Atra tu prati ityasyaiva upayogaha pradarshitah asti. Prati ityasya asmin samase. So we saw in the previous pratidinam, prativraksham, etc. It means every, that is repetition. Whereas in this context, prati means leshaha athava svalpam, a little amount ityarthaha. Atrapi samastapadam avyayameva bhavati. So in all kinds of avyayi bhava, the samastapada is an avyaya. So the difference is, if the purvapada component is also an avyaya, it is called avyaya purvapada. If the purvapada component is a namapada, not an avyaya, it is called nama purvapada avyayi bhavaha. Asya adhikani udaharanani na santi. You can use it for anything. Say jnanasya leshaha jnana prati, dhanasya leshaha dhana prati. Such things you can use. So किञ्चिदिव अभ्यासं कुर्मः. अत्र समस्तपदं दीयते, तस्य विग्रहवाक्यं वक्तव्यं भवति. लक्ष्मी भगिनी.
नमस्ते भगिनी, हरि ओम.
हाँ.
अधिहरि सप्तमी ना, हरि
सत्यं.
हरे इति.
हरि शब्दस्य सप्तमी. हरेः हर्योः हरीणां हरौ
हरे
हरौ इति सप्तमी, अतः हरौ इति अधिहरि चिन्ता नास्ति।
क्षम्यतां हरौ इति
So you can just say harau or say harau iti. Both are okay. So don't worry about it. Harau iti adhihari or just harau is the vigraha. Only the saptami. The iti is just because the harau sounds incomplete. So we're saying, okay, that is all it is there. Okay. Next we have Rajashri Magini. Please unmute yourself. Radha Pillai.
विधिम् अनतिक्रम्य
Samyak. Vidhim anatikramya yatha vidhi means not crossing the procedure. Whatever is the prescribed procedure, following it correctly. So yatha vidhi. Samyak. Madhavi Bhagini.
विघ्नं विना
Abhavaha. So
अभावः
vighnanam
नाम अभावः
Vignanam abhavaha nirvignam. Absence of obstacles.
Yeah.
Samyak. Bhavani Bhagini.
हरि ओम भगिनी नमस्कारं गृहे गृहे
गृहे
अथवा गृहं गृहं
Ha, grihe grihe athava griham griham. Samyak. So tad vishaye agre vakshyami. When to use saptami, when to use dvitiya. So next we have Lalita Bhagini. Shaka Prati.
नमो नमः
Leshaha ityartha. This is the second type we saw. Shakasya
शाक्य शाक्यं
na shruyate. Your voice was not heard. Shakasya leshaha.
शाक्यस्य लेश
Leshaha. Leshaha means a little. So Shakasya leshaha Shaka Prati. You can see the meaning of Prati in both is different. Okay. So Agre we will see. अत्र वस्तुतः विग्रहवाक्यं दत्तं समस्तपदं वक्तव्यं. शिरीषा भगिनी.
श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. ग्रामे अधिग्रामम्
अधिग्रामं सम्यक् ग्रामे इति अधिग्रामं. गायत्री भगिनी.
कृष्णस्य समीपम् उपकृष्णम्
उपकृष्णं कृष्णस्य समीपम् उपकृष्णं. सम्यक् विद्या भगिनी.
मतिम् अनतिक्रम्य यथामतिम् यथामति
यथामति. सम्यक्. So matim anatikrumya yathamati. It ends in e. It is an avyaya. Girvani.
मासे मासे प्रतिमासं
Mase mase pratimasam. Okay. Samyak. Amita Bhagini.
मरणपर्यन्तं मरणात्
Is the avyaya to be used. Like
आमरण
complete. Adinam, aratram. So, amaranam. So, marana is akaranta. If it is akaranta, it will end in amma. So, amaranam. Yes, that is the samastapada. Amaranam samskritam patami. I will learn or read Samskrita till death. That is the meaning. Okay. So, atra bahubhi prishtam tatra prati, when you have mase mase, or for example grihe grihe or griham griham, tatra saptami bhavedva dvitiya bhavedva iti prashnaha. It can be both depending on the meaning. How do we identify? We can identify by making a sentence without the repetition. For example, when I say a sentence like Grihe Vidyut Shaktihi Asti. Not a very good sentence. Okay, Grihe Tandulaha. What do you call? Or Grihe Samriddhihi Asti. There is prosperity in the house. So Pratigriham Samriddhihi Asti. So in this case, the Vigraha would be Grihe Grihe. So Grihe Samriddhihi Asti. Grihe Grihe Samriddhihi Asti becomes Pratigriham Samriddhihi Asti. Now, Karyakarta Griham Gachati. Okay. Now, Karyakarta Pratigriham Gachati. So here, Griham Prati Gachati. So he goes to every house. Right? So Griham Gachati, Pratigriham Gachati. So in this context, you will not say Grihe Gachati, Griham Gachati. Okay. So Pratigriham Gachati will be Griham or Griham Pratigriham. So Saptami or Dvitiya depends on what is the context in which we are using. Okay. For example, Vrikshe Pakshinaha Vasanti. So when we use it as Prativriksham Pakshinaha Vasanti, Tatra Vigraha Vakyam tu Vrikshe iti Saptamyantam bhavati. Whereas Vriksham Sinchati, somebody waters a tree, Prativriksham Sinchati. So waters every tree. So here it would be Vriksham Prati. So Kevalam Padam Diyate Chet, you will not know, except in the case of maybe words which indicate time. Right? For example, Dina, Masa, Paksha. Time is always Adhikarana. Right? So we do something on a day or in a month or in a year. So for such words, it is usually Saptami, Mase, Varshe, etc. Whereas for such nouns, Prativriksham, you cannot guess just by looking at the word. Tatra Vakyam Pashyamaha Chet, Tasmin Vakye Yadi Saptami Vibhaktihi Yujyate, Tarhi Saptamyantaha Vigraha Bhavati. Yadi Dvitiya Vibhaktihi Yujyate, Tarhi Dvitiya Vibhaktyantah Vigraha Vaktavya. Tattu Vakyam Asti Chet. Yadi Padameva Diyate, you can use both. So either Vrikshe or Vriksham Prati. Both are correct. The usage depends on the context. If you are using in a particular context, you should know what is the correct vibhakti for that. Okay. So Avyayi Bhava Samasasya Yam Sangshepaha Tatra Dvividhaha Avyayi Bhavaha Asti. Avyaya Purvapadaha Avyayi Bhavaha. This is the main type, most common type. Avyayarthaha Bahuvidhaha Santi Teshameva Pradhanyam Bhavati. Samasta Padamapi Avyayam Bhavati. So the majority of the things we saw, Pratidinam Yatha Shakti, Upakrishnam, Avarsham, Adhinadi, all those are Avyaya Purvapada Avyayi Bhavaha. Nama Purvapadaha Avyayi Bhavaha. Kvachitkaha. Kvachitkaha means rare. Kvachit means in some place. That is, very rarely we find Nama Purvapadaha Avyayi Bhavaha. Atra Uttarapadam Prati iti Avyayam Bhavati. Lesharthakam tad Avyayam. So Samasta Padam api Avyayam Bhavati. So Supa Prati, Shaka Prati, Ghrita Prati, Yatkimapi Kartum Shakyate. Okay. So this is all about Avyayi Bhava at this stage. anything more, we can, there is lot more specifics basically. Overall, that's it. So, but specific details we can learn at higher levels. Okay, so there are some questions, but before we go to that, since we have 15 minutes, I wanted to cover a few aspects in Bahuvrihi, which out of syllabus, that is, atra asmin pustake tesham उल्लेखः नास्ति, किन्तु प्रयोगे वयं बहुधा पश्यामः. So they are actually in the Chittur book, since they are just dividing as Dvipada and Bahupada. These are all mostly included under Dvipada. Kintu tatra Pradi Bahuvrihi iti Vishesha Namna Jnayate. Udaharanartham Nirjanaha Pradeshaha, a deserted place. So what is it? Nirgataha janaha yasmat saha nirjanaha. So nirgataha janaha yasmat saha nirjanaha pradeshaha. So a place from which all the people have gone away, which means right now there are no people there. So it is deserted. Even deserted means the same, that is, people have left the place. Abhimukhaha. Abhigatam mukham yasya saha. So abhimukha means facing something. So he whose face is turned towards. Abhigatam. That is, to whom it depends. Say Guroho abhimukhaha means he is sitting with his face turned towards the teacher. So abhimukhaha chhatraha. So we see usually preceded by something else. Say Guroho abhimukhaha, Agnehe abhimukhaha, etc. So one who has his face turned towards something. Abhigatam mukham yasya saha abhimukhaha. Praparnaha vrikshaha iti prayogaha asti. Prapatitaha or prapatitani parnani yasmat saha. Parna is usually napumsaka. So prapatitani parnani yasmat saha. That tree from which all the leaves have fallen. So we know there are trees. So winter after winter. So there are many trees which shed their leaves. So some of them shed during the fall, the autumn, some during the post-winter. So such a tree where you will only see a stump, all the leaves have fallen. Such a tree is called praparnaha. Praparna means prapatitani parnani yasmat saha. So atra idrishaha samasaha pradibahuvrihi ityuchyate. So you see in the word itself, you see the pradis, right? So nir, abhi, pra, etc. Kaha visheshaha atra iti chet ayamapi samanadhikarana bahuvrihi dvipada bahuvrihi. It falls into the same category. It is not a different category. We just identify it as pradi bahuvrihi because the first word, the purva pada, is a pradi. That is one of the upasargas, pra, para, apasam, etc. The other special thing we see here is the words marked in red are dropped optionally, usually dropped or deleted. So pradibhyaha parasya kridantasya lopaha bhavati. So nirgata, gata is deleted, only nirjana. In abhigatam mukham, gata is deleted. So abhi mukha. In prapatitani parnani, patitani is the kridanta is deleted. So pra and parna. So it is like in karmadharaya we have something called madhyama padalopi karmadharaya. So in bahuvrihi also we have cases where it is deleted. Okay. So such samasa is pradi bahuvrihi. It is a subtype of dvipada bahuvrihi. Atra visheshaha asya kridanta padasya lopaha bhavati. Lopaha nityaha na. You can make this samasa as nirgata janaha, abhigata mukhaha, prapatita parnaha. But the more common usage is with lopa. Samanyataha lopam kritva eva bahudha prayogaha kriyate. Ayam pradi bahuvrihi. Tatra kaishchit prishtam gatavarge api tatra तत् कुत्र अन्तर्भवति अस्माभिः सप्तप्रभेदाः अधीताः तत्र प्रथमे एव अस्य अन्तर्भावः भवति समानरीत्या नै बहुव्रीहिः इत्यस्ति बहु प्रसिद्धः अपुत्रः अविद्यमानः पुत्रः यस्य सः अपुत्रः he who does not have a son. So that is he whose son is avidyamana, non-existent, literally. So anuttama. So anuttama is not nai tatpurusha. Na uttamaha means not good. But when we are talking about Bhagavan, anuttamo duradharshaha kritagya kritiratmavan, in the Vishnu Sahasranama, when we say Bhagavan anuttamaha, avidyamanaha uttamaha yasmat saha, means he who has nobody greater than himself. There is nobody who is above him, who is uttama. Uttama means better than or good. So yasmat uttamaha nasti, he who has nobody who is better than him, that is anuttamaha. It is bahuvrihi samasa. It is not na uttamaha anuttamaha in this context. You can say na uttamaha anuttamaha nai tatpurusha is possible, but in Vishnu Sahasranama that is not the intended meaning. So it depends on meaning. Just like we saw Lokanathaha bhikshukaha va raja va iti chet artham anusritya vigrahaha evam atrapi anuttamaha bhagavan va कश्चित् नीचः वा इति अर्थमनुसृत्य तत्र विग्रहः वक्तव्यः अनन्तम् अविद्यमानः अन्तः यस्य तत् सत्यं ज्ञानम् अनन्तं ब्रह्म इत्युच्यते अनन्तम् इत्युक्ते किम् अविद्यमानः अन्तः यस्य तत् that which has no end brahma is the parabrahma, the ultimate reality. So in all these cases, we call it nai bahuvrihi. This is actually again in the same bucket. Samanadhikaranaha dvipada bahuvrihi. Atra vidyamana iti shabdasya lopaha bhavati. Sarvatrapi na vidyamanaha avidyamanaha. So the vidyamana is deleted. So you have the na there. Similar to nai tatpurusha. If the Uttara Pada is Haladi, we hear it as a. If the Uttara Pada is Ajadi, it becomes anuttamaha, anantam, ityadi. So we are deleting the Vidyamana part of it and a putraha, a uttamaha. Since it is uttama starts with a vowel, a nakara is added, anuttamaha. A antaha becomes anantaha. So anantam is that which has no end. So nai bahuvrihi samasaha api dvipada bahuvrihau eva antarbhavati nayaha parasya vidyamana shabdasya lopaha bhavati. Sometimes the vigraha for this is written as na vidyate putraha yasya saha, na vidyate antaha yasya tat. That is also okay. Vigraha vakya, as we have discussed, is purely for indicating the meaning. So that is okay. But when we look at the sutra, the vartika or the rules which give the samasa, they say you have to delete that word vidyamana. So this vigraha is more preferred. There is nothing wrong in writing na vidyate putraha yasya saha. Na vidyate uttamaha yasmat saha. That also means the same, basically. The last kind is upamana purvapada bahuvrihi. Yatra bahuvrihau upamana vachakam purvapadam bhavati. So this is a very interesting samasa. So Gajananah. So Gajananam iva ananam yasya saha. Kaha arthaha Gajanana shabdasya? He who has a face resembling the face of an elephant. Correct? So Vinayaka yasya ananam Gajananam iva is like the anana of an elephant. So here there are two anana shabdas, Gajananam iva ananam. So here also the first one is deleted. So when we look at the steps similar, so Gajasya ananam Gajananam is Chashti Tatpurusha, face of an elephant. Gajananam iva ananam yasya saha. So yasya ananam Gajananam iva bhavati saha ityarthe. This is Samanadhikarana Dvipada Bahuvrihi. There are two words and it is Samanadhikarana. But atra upamana vachakasya. So the part of the upamana, wherever there is this repetition, so that repeated upamana is deleted. So Gaja Anana becomes Gajananaha. So this is one way of writing. There is actually here for this samasa, there is an alternative vigraha which is given. Gajasya iva ananam yasya saha ityapi vaktum shakyate. Gajasya iva ananam, face like that of an elephant. Okay, what is that? That is actually face. So face like the face of an elephant is fully clear. Face like that of an elephant, Gajasya iva ananam. The implied meaning in both is the same. It is only a different way of writing the Vigraha Vakya. Okay. So Gajananam iva ananam yasya saha iti likhamaha chet ekasya anana shabdasya lopaha bhavati Gaja anana Gajananaha. Gajasya iva ananam yasya saha ityapi shuddhameva. So face like that of an elephant. Remember, you cannot write Gajaha iva ananam. His face is not like an elephant. His face is like the face of an elephant. Right? That is the most important thing. So it is not Gajaha iva ananam. You can write Gajasya iva ananam or Gajananam iva ananam yasya saha. So idamapi dvipada bahuvrihau eva antarbhavati dvedha vigraha vakyam atra lekhitum shakyam. Samanaritya harinakshi. So harinakshini iva akshini yasya sa. Akshi akshini. Akshini is dvivachana meaning two eyes. She whose eyes are like the eyes of a doe. Okay, so Harina is the deer. So the female deer, basically. You can also say Harinyaha, Harinasya Akshini. So that of a deer, deer-eyed or doe-eyed maiden. So Harinakshini iva Akshini yasyasa, where you delete the one of the repeated Akshi Shabda. Harina Akshi becomes Harinakshi. Or Harinasya iva Akshini yasyasa. He who has eyes like that of a deer. Vrikodaraha. Bhimasya prasiddham nama idam. Vrikodaram iva udaram yasya saha. Or Vrikasya iva udaram yasya saha. Means his tummy or waist is like the tummy of a wolf. A wolf apparently has a very slim tummy. Even though Bhima is known for eating a lot, he had a huge appetite, but he was not obese or fat. Okay. So it was his body structure. He needed that strength for the amount of physical work he did, but it does not mean he was with a bulging waist. So his waist was still slim like that of a wolf. Atayeva tasya vrikodaraha iti nam. Okay. अत्रापि अपरः अंशः यत्र यत्र उपमानपूर्वपदबहुव्रीहिः सर्वत्रापि एवम् इति न. ओके, सो अगेन सर्वत्रापि अर्थम् अनुसृत्य. सर्वत्रापि कमलनयनः इत्युक्ते you cannot make it as kamalanayane iva nayane yasya saha. His eyes are not like that of a lotus. A lotus does not have eyes. It is not kamalanayane iva nayane. It is kamale iva nayane. His eyes are like lotus. Remember the distinction. When I say Harinakshi, it means her eyes are like the eyes of a deer. Whereas Kamalakshi means her eyes are like lotuses, not the eye of a lotus. So what are you comparing to is the major thing. So if it is just Kamala Nayane, Kamale iva Nayane yasya saha. Ayamapi upamana purva pada bahuvrihi. This is very normal. There is no lopa. It is samanadhikarana dvipada bahuvrihi. So Kamala Nayana, Kamala Nayanaha or Kamala Nayana, Kamala Nayanam. So Iva Shabdaha Vigraha Vakye eva upayujyate. Yatha karmadharaye tatha atra upamanamasti iti bodhayitum Iva Shabdaha prayujyate. So here you just directly you are comparing Nayana to Kamala. So Chandramukhi, Chandraha iva mukham yasyaha sa. It is not Chandramukham iva mukham. Directly Chandraha iva mukham yasyaha sa Chandramukhi. Kambukanthi. Kambu means a conch. So if you have seen a shankha, it is white in color and it is very smooth and round or curved. So she whose neck is fair, the smooth and rounded, so she is called Kambukanthi. So there Kambuhu iva kanthaha yasyaha sa Kambukanthi. So the distinction which kind of vigraha you should write depends on the meaning. Are you comparing to the upamana as a whole, or are you comparing to a part and a limb of the upamana? Right? So wherever you are comparing directly to the complete upamana, so Chandraha iva, Kambuhu iva, Kamale iva. Where we are comparing to a part of, like say, comparing the face to the face of the elephant, comparing the eyes to the eyes of the deer. So in such cases, the vigraha will be slightly different. So ete amshaha maya bahuvrihi samase noktaha, kintu prayoge bahutra etesham bahuvrihi samasanam upayogaha kriyate, ataha uktam. So I'll stop here with the Mangalam. Then whatever possible questions I will take. Gurureva gatir gurumeva bhaje gurunaiva sahasmi namo gurave na guroh paramam shishurasmi guror matirasti gurau mama pahi guro vakyakaram vararuchim bhashyakaram patanjalim paninim sutrakaram cha pranatosmi munitrayam.